Welcome to the Andrew Forrest Show. Today we're going to be talking about Joseph Stalin and Animal Farm. Within the past 100 years of human history, everyone agrees that the reign of Joseph Stalin was one of the deadliest and most totalitarian autocracies humanity has ever seen. Understanding the brutality and reasoning for the millions that perished under his iron grip cannot be truly comprehended. George Orwell's 1945 Animal Farm helps us understand why these macabre historical events occurred. The novel in itself is an allegory for the Russian Revolution of 1944. The main antagonist of the novel, a Berkshire-born named Napoleon, serves as an allegory for Joseph Stalin and his rise and reign over the USSR. The events that happen throughout the novel are a mirror of the Russian Revolution, and the same for Stalin and his uprising and usurping through the Soviet government. An example of this is Napoleon's forceful exile of Snowball. Within the novel, Napoleon and Snowball both quarrel as Trotsky and Stalin did. Snowball, the animalistic representation of Leon Trotsky, invents the plan to create a windmill for the animal farm. Napoleon disagrees with it initially and ends up literally pissing on his ideas. Shortly after a meeting between all the animals, Snowball is chased off the farm and exiled by Napoleon and his puppies, who are now vicious hounds. Napoleon ends up then becoming the de facto leader of the farm and continues with the progression of the windmill, shifting all efforts towards completion. Sounds kind of familiar? Stalin, like Napoleon, ended immediately quarreling with Trotsky. Stalin also disagreed with the 5-year plan, which its purpose was to industrialize the USSR and increase the rate of production. He also exiled Trotsky and proceeded with the 5-year plan in 1928. Like the windmill, all resources were shifted towards that industrialization, a la collectivization, the process in which all production is centralized in the capital, part of the command economy, was shifted. Both the 5-year plan and the windmill were failures, and both Trotsky and Snowball were vilified. A clear distinction should be noted between Trotsky and Snowball. Snowball was executed, unlike Trotsky, who was assassinated in Mexico. In the end, one of Orwell's most interesting allegories and predictions, which was how Stalin would handle the post-war world. At the end of the novel, Napoleon, who now has complete control over the farm, and is fully a dictator, ends up meeting with the other human farm owners, including Mr. Pilkington, who is a metaphor for the United States. Nice, dude. At the end of the novel, they have a card game and end up playing dual aces. This causes an uproar and argument in the room. Obviously, Orwell couldn't fully predict the complex geopolitical events that would occur in the year after he wrote the novel, but we can agree that all the nations that divided post-war Europe, in particular the United States and the Soviet Union, the story of their relationship was similar to this ending scene. The playing of the dual aces can symbolize many things: the division of Europe, the Cold War, etc. Orwell predicted something would happen and more. He was right. Overall, Orwell's Animal Farm is as ridiculous and unexplained as the story of the Russian Revolution, and its portrayal of the various faces of the USSR. This allegory serves as a testament to the complex politics of the Soviet Union, and simple yet rich portrayals of the absurdity of violent revolutions.